In the world of the ultra wealthy, the greatest flex isn't what you can afford to buy, it's what you're smart enough to avoid. As we move through February 2026, a massive shift is occurring in the global landscape of wealth. The era of loud luxury, of neon logos and over-engineered gadgets is facing a reckoning. Today, we are deconstructing the 5 most overrated assets that new money is still chasing, while the old guard quietly exits the room. From watches that feel like toys to supercars that depreciate like smartphones, we're peeling back the gold leaf to show you the cracks underneath. If you think a high price tag equals value, you've already lost the game. This is the truth behind the billionaire's trap. Let's start with the billionaire's handshake, the Richard Mille. Specifically the RM11 series and its carbon fiber cousins. For years, these were the ultimate symbol of entry into the elite. But in 2026, the law is fading. Richard Mille markets these as masterpieces of aerospace-grade materials. But here is the savoir-faire secret. TPT carbon is essentially a high-tech resin. It's light, yes, it's durable perhaps, but it lacks the intrinsic soul and weight of precious metals like platinum or rose gold. Furthermore, many RM movements are sourced from Volscher Manufacture Fleurier, the same prestigious house that supplies brands costing a fraction of the price. You aren't paying for a unique movement, you are paying a 400% premium for a plastic-feeling case and a marketing budget. With service costs exceeding $20,000 and wait time stretching to 6 months, these watches are becoming high-maintenance liabilities. In the quiet luxury era of 2026, a neon orange RM doesn't say I've arrived. It says I arrived too late to the trend. Next, we move to the asphalt, the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. When it launched, it was a hybrid miracle, the first series production prancing horse to hit 1,000 horsepower. But in 2026, we are witnessing a brutal market correction. The SF90 is the first Ferrari that feels disposable. Why? Because it's a computer first and a car second. While analog icons like the 458 Special or the F40 are skyrocketing in value, the SF90 is depreciating faster than any flagship in Maranello's history. Recent data shows some owners losing nearly $300,000 in just 3 years. The 7.9 kilowatt-hour battery is the ticking clock. In 2026, these battery packs are aging and the software systems are becoming legacy technology. If your supercar requires a firmware update just to engage reverse, you don't own a piece of automotive history, you own a gadget with a shelf life. The smart money is heading back to naturally aspirated V12s, where the only thing that dates is the driver. Now let's talk about where you sleep. Branded real estate. In 2026, cities like Madrid, Dubai, and Miami are cluttered with Porsche-designed towers and Armani residences. The pitch is simple. Hotel-style living with a designer logo. But the knowledge says otherwise. You are paying a brand premium of 30 to 40% just for the name on the lobby floor. These developments often come with astronomical HOA fees to maintain branded gyms and lounges you'll rarely use. Investors are finding that when they go to sell, the secondary market doesn't care about the fashion house logo. It cares about the location and the build quality. In many cases, the branded finishes are just standard materials with a higher price tag. In 2026, true luxury real estate is unbranded. It's a bespoke estate where the privacy is absolute and the value is in the land, not the licensing deal. In the skies, the trap is the Gulfstream G280. It's often marketed as the perfect starter jet for the rising mogul. But in the world of private aviation, entry level is a dangerous word. The G280 lacks the transcontinental range of its bigger brothers like the G700. It can't cross the Atlantic with a full load comfortably, and its maintenance to flight hour ratio is among the most punishing in the industry. For the billionaire, time is the only non-renewable resource. If you have to stop for fuel in the Azores while a G700 flies overhead non-stop to London, you haven't bought freedom. You've bought a very expensive waiting room. In 2026, the power move isn't owning a G280. It's fractional ownership of a long-range heavy jet. Owning a mid-sized jet is like owning a yacht that can't leave the harbour. It's an ego purchase that bleeds capital every hour it sits on the tarmac. What do all these traps have in common? They rely on the Veblen Paradox, the economic phenomenon where demand increases as the price rises, simply because the price itself becomes the status symbol. But in 2026, the hype bubble is leaking. Information is too accessible. People are beginning to see through the manufactured scarcity of handbags and the artificial exclusivity of watches. True savoir-faire is about identifying assets with intrinsic, lasting value. It's about the craftsmanship that can't be replicated by a machine and the history that can't be bought with a marketing campaign. If you want to build a legacy, stop being a consumer of trends and start being a curator of value. Protect your capital, refine your taste, and remember, if everyone is talking about it, the smart money has already left. Thank you for joining us at Luxury Law. Like and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve. Until next time.